Because religion is so vital an aspect of culture, its visible presence can be rather striking, a presence that reflects the role played by religion in our identity as humans. In some places, religious aspects are the dominant visible evidence of a culture. Religions differ greatly in their visibility, and in more secular places they may not be visible at all. We're driving to Spain's Rioja region to look at the evidence of religion on the landscape and the dominant role it plays here. Evidence of religion on the cultural landscape ranges from places of worship to cemeteries to place names, the most obvious of which are structures. Religious structures vary in size and shape. In this area, massive structures dominate the landscape and play a central role in the local culture. In urban environments, religious buildings are often placed in prominent locations, such as at the end of wide streets, or they may be the focal point of a plaza. Ornate details and grandeur are often common in Spanish churches. In Spain's rural environments, church structures are a strong part of the evolution of the culture. The buildings dominate not only in height, but also in placement, often alongside Romanesque castles on a military-dominant hill, towering high above low-slung medieval buildings. I'm Scott Walker. I'm a geographer, a professor, and a traveler, and I'm taking you on a geographic journey. In northern Spain, near Embalse del Ebro, religion is evident on the landscape. These two churches are just within a few kilometers of one another. Each one of them has a steeple with multiple bells. In fact, one of them has a stork's nest on it. In medieval Europe, the church would have been the center of the city. As you can see here behind me, this 12th century church is pretty much the center of this medieval town of Sonsierra del Mar. Look, it's Harry Potter. Less prominent landscape evidence of culture is related to how we pay tribute to the dead. Some graveyards are prominent, while others are small and familial. Likewise, cemeteries preserve cultural traits because often groups are hesitant to change their practices related to death. Part of religion's impact on the environment includes how we deal with the dead. Instead of a cemetery like we're used to in the United States, here in northern Spain, they use more of a mausoleum type setup. Let's take a look inside this one to give you a better view. Instead of burying the dead in the ground, they use these catacomb type places to slide the caskets in that are above ground. Here's where the new ones are going to go eventually. And over here is where the dead have already been buried. In some places in northern Spain, monuments are still built. This one was built in 1768, according to the stone in the ceiling. And it covers a place where it says family Hoyas has their dead buried. Spatial variations in religion are often used by geographers to facilitate the delimitation of both cultural regions and cultural groups. For some groups, religion is the principal binding element between relationships in material identity, regionalization, and symbolic identity. Most religions create sacred spaces through the expression of their identity in the landscape with structures, shrines, and symbolic markers. Symbols of religious worship are woven into the very fabric of many places and give them a special and sometimes unique identity, one that is sacred to members of the religious group and that are readily recognizable by others.